Okay, so I am going to give you a amateur tutorial of how to use your moka espresso pot in several different ways that you can use it. And so anyways, enjoy. The first thing is your moka espresso pot is empty initially, so you gotta fill it with water, only water. It is preferred that you use filtered water, but you know, any regular water will work too, but you'll notice deposits will form faster if you use regular tap water versus bottled water or filtered water, whatever. And you see this little valve here. When you fill it up with water, if you want the whole 6 servings, fill the water just below the nodule, but you don't have to fill it all the way up there. If you just want to make one quick shot, you can just do half or a little less than half in here. Just don't ever go up past this steam valve, because that's where the steam's going to escape. So you've got that, and then you have this guy, the portafilter. This is where your coffee's going. So in your grinder, which is here, where you will put your coffee beans, preferably a coffee bean made for espresso. Or you can use any coffee bean though, it doesn't matter. I actually like to use a breakfast blend or something lighter, because I don't really want such a harsh coffee taste. Some people do though, so and if it tastes really bitter, then it might have something to do with your coffee is old, the beans are old, or you didn't get a good pressure to push the oil up through the coffee. There could be several things factor into why the coffee doesn't taste smooth. So, and the more you grind your coffee beans, the finer you make it, the stronger the coffee. And also the more pressure it will create with the water trying to come up and steam through the grounds, because it's going to be tighter, more compact. Alright, and just to give you an idea of where we're at on the texture or the grind. See. You can kind of tell a little. I mean, it's kind of fine and it's fluffy. So, anyways, you could even go finer than that if you wanted, but that would be acceptable for me if it was my coffee, which it is. I will drink this. You can pour it into the cap so you can see how much you've got if you want. And I like to sometimes take a paintbrush, one that's designated for the coffee grinder itself, and scrape it down every once in a while, because the oils will make the coffees eventually stick to the bottom, and you don't want that to collect too much, because it gets gross. So now we're going to put the portafilter in here, And we're going to start dumping the coffee into the portafilter. And you want to fill it to the top as much as you can. Over here. And pack it a little bit more. And also, you don't have to pack this all the way to the top because it just depends on how strong you want it. But if you have it filled all the way up to the nodule, you should pack it full. Or if you're wanting even an intense shot of espresso and you only have, half of this with water, you can still pack it full and it's going to be extremely strong coffee. So I don't have a tamper, so right now I'm currently using a quarter cup measuring device here, which is embarrassing. I wish I had a tamper, but this works for now. A tamper is more leveled and it's heavy and it has a flatter bottom. It's more flat. But what you want to do is you want to try to get an even surface. Make this level all the way across. And you don't want any grinds around the edge here. Clean it. Josh, you could come in here and be my audience and ooh and ah. Okay, so now take this the basket, which is going to collect your coffee right here. You can see this is where the coffee is going to shoot up. And if you packed it right and you have the right amount of coffee and the right amount of water and your heating element is on par, then you will notice that when this comes out of that spout, it's going to be oily and it's going to have frothing and it's going to look creamy. Not just black liquid spewing out of it. That's not what we're going for. So kind of get that on there tight. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up some milk in a pan while this is going. Move this over here. And I will, am I getting that in there? I will show you momentarily what that milk is going to be for. Just medium high. Okay, and then it would be much better if you could have this on a gas stove range because you have better control over the heat, but all I have is electric and it works, but the preferred method is over a gas stove. But anyway, so you put this on there, put it on high, and it's going to get this water down here hot in this chamber. And if you want, you can have the lid open so you can, if you're doing something else in the kitchen, you can hear it or you can have better attention or whatever to it. So it's up to you. This really doesn't matter at this point if it's opened or closed. So while we're waiting on that, like I said, we got this going over here. And this I'm heating up to almost boiling point because I want to show you how to make a cappuccino or a latte with the hot milk and how to froth it without using a microwave. I don't know. Sometimes those microwaves freak me out. I like to try to do whatever I can on this stovetop. Like curlers, yeah. Let's see, we've got for add in raw sugar and hold on, I'm going to put these things away. And I got a little espresso cup to show you what a shot of espresso will turn out to be, and a little chocolate on the side. And got a little mug here to put any extra frothed milk that we don't need or use. And this is actually a tea mug, but I wanted to have this to show you the different levels or amounts of milk in froth that you would put in there to make it from a latte to a cappuccino. So like what the difference is. And then this would be suitable for a macchiato, should you want to make a macchiato. And this is what I'm going to, did I get that in there? This is what I'm going to make that's when I froth the milk in. That's a French press, so you can also use your French press for different things other than just making French press coffee. How cool is that? I have a check over here on the coffee. Still not quite ready, but I can hear something going on in there. Yeah. Go over here and stir this and make sure that the milk isn't scorching to the bottom. Nobody likes a scorched pan. And I'm using a copper pot that's lined, and a stainless steel pot would be good. I wouldn't prefer or recommend using non-stick, just because over time, as you reheat things in non-stick, you release chemicals and properties and all that stuff is getting into your milk and food, or anything for that matter that you're putting in the non-stick. So, but whatever, some people don't care. We're all gonna die from something like that anyways, right? Okay. That guy is still going. Yeah. And you want it just to be just before boiling. You don't want it to be doing anything too crazy. Yeah, still got him over here. This is really weird trying to film on an iPhone turned around. It totally wouldn't hurt my feelings if you like actually didn't watch this and watched a better video, but you know, I thought I'd give it a shot. Who knows, maybe I'll get a bunch of hits or something. No, actually I'm sending this to you privately. You put this on Facebook, I will kill you. For real, seriously. That would not be cool at all. Okay, and sometimes with this milk, what I've done is, like, if you wanted flavor, after I take it off the stove, I'd add like vanilla extract or almond or whatever, or even put like a little Bailey's in it and heat it up, or you know, whatever. I would do it after you do the milk though. Don't cook it in there, because then you start cooking out the flavor. But see it's starting to boil. So we're going to take that off. And we're going to bring it over here to the French press. So we got that in there. Well, anyway, so I'm pouring it into the French press now. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is put this on here. And there's also milk frothers too that you can use, but if you already have a French press available or around, in the meantime you can just do this. You don't have to spend any money on a fancy milk frother. Let someone buy that for you for Christmas and your birthday. Save your money. They also have the wands too. Anyways, just keep going up as you can feel it in there starting to resist as the foam. Oh yeah. And the more air you push through there and the faster you go, the bigger head of froth you're going to get. I know, it seems like a lot of work, but you end up coming out with some pretty yummy tasting coffee, or espresso, or cappuccino, or latte, or whatever it is that you go for. Alright, now the coffee is about to extract. See that froth? That is what you want. Trying to make sure that this is, you can see it. Oh, this is so annoying. Wish I had a regular camera. Anyways, it's putting that nice head at the top. That's because you've got that steam and that water coming up through the coffee. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And if it starts to spew, then this is where you want to shut your lid. If you don't want coffee everywhere. That's a good sign. But that's all of the pressure coming up through the coffee grounds and extracting the natural oils in the coffee. And now I'm going to tell you, if you can get like Jude's beans, Starbucks beans, I'm using these because it was handy at the time, or it was available right off the bat. Or if you could go to Tulsa to Topeka, they've got awesome beans for moka espresso pots. Okay, so now for just a traditional shot of espresso, you would just pour that right in there. You see it? And you know what? If it was a better bean, there would be more froth, more crema on the top. But the oil either is just dried, the beans are dried out, or they weren't stored correctly. There's lots of factors, but usually when you use beans and you want to get a successful crema, you want to try to get the beans from the plantation to the place where they're going to roast them about 4 or 5 days, and then from the time that they roast them until you put them in your grinder, you don't want any more than 4 or 5 days. And then you don't want to store the bag for more than 10 days, because after that, over time, the oil is being released from the beans and you're not getting that richness, that natural flavoring from the coffee bean. So anyways, so that is the shot. And you got a little spoon, you want to put a little bit of sugar in there. So anyways, there's that. Now we'll do a cappuccino first, because cappuccino uses less milk, and then coffee, and then a little bit of froth, or more foam, I'm sorry. That would be closer to a cappuccino, maybe a little bit more froth actually, but I don't have enough so I could do the latte also. So if you want to do a latte would be, you'd add more milk and you have less froth. So that's the difference between a latte. Latte is more milk, less froth. Cappuccino is less milk, more froth. And then you would just add your sugar or whatever you want. But with that. Frothy milk. Now for a macchiato, not a caramel macchiato, but just a regular traditional macchiato, you would do couple shots of espresso, and then no milk and all froth. And if you're running out of froth, you can just take your French press and just pump some more air in it real fast, and it'll create it for you. Yep. So that's just espresso with all froth. And actually, I'm gonna put that in there. I'll show you. Now that's just a really awesome cup of coffee now. Okay, well, that's it for the tutorial on the moka espresso pot. I hope you have fun with it, and if you take care of it and wash it every time you use it and dry it completely, don't let water set in it because it will rust over time and develop calcium deposits that are a pain in the butt to remove, then you will have that potentially for the rest of your life if you take care of it. Okay, bye.